You think that I am intending to cause a confrontation?
No, I'm asking if you're okay. But the first thing,
And I'm telling you, I'm a little shook up.
I know, I get that. I said, that's why I'm here, and I've been nothing but smiles. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to talk to you honestly back and forth, but you don't have to take things as an insult like just a minute ago. You said you're coming out with smiles. Doesn't seem genuine. It's almost as like you're
the point that I made very clear was, I'm here just to make sure that things are taken care of. And the first words out of your mouth were, AAA's coming. I said, awesome, then my job is done. That's it. But you keep trying to bring up, well, I was this and this thing, and I was like, hey,
well, I guess I said my part. I don't have to repeat. I won't repeat myself.
But I want to make sure, that's y'all's personal thing. I don't want to be involved in the personal stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm most clear about. I don't want to take signs. That's not my job. My job is to make sure this place doesn't burn down. Things are, nobody gets rowdy, and if things happen to be rowdy while I'm here, I have to be involved. But you guys have clearly separated yourselves.
Right, I've been staying over here.
Right.
They've been coming up every hour. You leave now, or I'm going to have your toad out. Keith just said. That was the last thing that was said. And before you came up by about 5 minutes.
And my job is just to make sure that, one,
okay,
there's no further altercation.
Well, hey, you're not doing a bad job at your job. You're doing just that. So good job. Good job. AlexAnsary.tv, ANSARY. That's where you can find some of the Costilla County videos and whatnot. And that's where on my channel there will be the after report about visiting.
Write it down for me,
sure.
Or something.
I gotta. My RV's a mess. Maybe I'll find a pin in a second here. They should have called me back. How about I call AAA and go, why haven't you called me back yet?
Because there's AAA. There's one tow truck company in town.
But I have. Okay. Well, at least I have my membership's good for 3 weeks.
Like I said,
so I already know where I'm going, but not a residence. I'm going to a side street. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to park next to a Safeway. For crying out loud, I'm literally going to a dead-end street in Alamosa from here to then try to figure out. I don't have any allies in the house. This was my sanctuary. This was the spot where my heart was. My heart really was growing on this place. That's why this hurts. No. I've been traveling for over a year now. I just wanted to stop and rest for a little bit.
Well, I was going to give you a suggestion as to it's Taos Off-Road. Apparently, that's what that's the place that Keith
I know, I appreciate it.
Do all do all of his mechanical work.
Again, he would have been hired for $300 or $400 if he would just want to verbally attack me like that. And that's what I said. And when I said that, that's what it was. I'm saying this one last time. I won't repeat it. 0 to 60. Get out of here. Get out. Just get out. And then I pull out my camera, saying I'm pulling out my camera for my protection, because these are situations where I'm not going to be accused of something I didn't do. And that's where he literally snatched it out of my hand. It's on video, and it shows him. It goes on for about 3 minutes, the footage. And I know that Keith has probably done a lot of good work for Food Not Bombs. I researched him for the first time 3 days ago, and I'm thinking, I got to interview this guy. This guy has a very interesting story. But I mean, what was your first name?
I'm Anthony.
Well, I'll say, Anthony, that you came as a peacemaker and whatnot, and just trying to do your part. But I wanted to meet him, and it's unfortunate that something like this. It does get in the way of how I view the Food Not Bombs organization, because I look at what Keith has left it to. He's left to somebody who's going to allow somebody to kick me out of here who used an act of violence. That is condoning violence. Sir, that is condoning violence. I mean...
You like to say that I'm condoning or that I'm taking sides. I'm on Food Not Bomb side, and Food Not Bomb side is, are you cool? You're safe. Nothing's going on right now. We're waiting for AAA. And I want to make sure that nobody's going to come over here and bother you.
It is like a gang thing energetically from the girlfriend coming over to not even say hello, really communicate, just laugh and walk away. Or Fred.
To be insulting to us, then that's when she
well, to rewind back, there was insults thrown my way in that 30 seconds. Oh, I see what you're about. I mean, are you going to say that's not?
Yeah,
that is.
Because of what you had already said.
Okay.
And
well,
then, because you
this
said,
isn't the best way when
someone's
under stress from just being assaulted. It's not the best time to get to know someone.
Exactly.
When they're being kicked off a property.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's why I don't want you to keep throwing the personal situation, your personal altercation at me, because that's not how I want to know you. And that's not how I want to judge you. And what I'm most concerned about is making sure you're safe. Nobody's going to fucking bother you. The altercation doesn't get carried on any further. And that's why I'm here, and she's, over there with them.
And right
Nobody's
before
taking
right
any
before
sides.
everybody started pulling up the vehicles to add the psychological impact, I'm going to make sure everybody knows about this, and everybody's going to make sure you're out of here by the end of the day. So he already threw this as a gang thing, representing you guys as his side. So I mean, take this into consideration, right? How things were before all that. You can take that into consideration and understand how that could be seen as like a team up on someone. Someone's literally verbalizing, my crew is coming, and we're going to make sure you're out of here tonight. I mean, I know you're laughing, and you find this funny, and I'm actually not filming you, but I am recording audio from my own.
In that fucking situation. I know what it's like.
Okay.
So that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, that's why.
And there are some situations where.
That's why I'm trying so hard to stay neutral, because it's
okay.
like I can't judge.
Here's the situation: is two guys fighting in the street, and a police officer responds, and he arrests both of them. The thing is, did someone just walk up and assault the other person? That's ultimate, or they both walk up and said, "Let's create a disturbance in this cafe." I see a fundamental difference between the two situations.
Right.
So, I think that should be of concern.
That's what
started
neutral.
The conflict.
That's why I'm just here and trying to be all smiles. Like,
no, I gotcha.
And saying, I don't know what happened. And don't involve me in that, because my concern is right now everybody's cool, and that and you're taken care of, and AAA's on the way, and then after that the problem is solved as far as I'm concerned.
I guess they are on the way, and if they don't call, they're eventually on the way.
I'm not going to allow him to come over here and disturb the situation or try and give me his point of view, because I don't care about the point of view.
My ability to communicate with others is now off, and if I didn't have this phone, I'd be screwed. I wouldn't be able to call AAA. Because the internet has been flipped off.
But I didn't want. Okay.
So I mean, I am a little limited to be able to do a few things, but it's not a big deal. Stuff like that is like, geez, man, why make it harder? If you turn off the internet and I'm relying on that, that makes it even more adverse situation and aggressive. The cut off communications.
What is this? The government? Off-grid stuff. So.
I'm sorry, I don't understand your humor.
Oh no, it's. Because people like to live off grid, or people just don't like to have those tendrils, and then I just thought it was kind of funny. So, not.
Have you put in 5 to 10 minutes to raise voice to other activists or people that people have been actually kicked off their land? Did you know? No.
I'm not going to stop you.
No. Says the guy that films off the grid stuff. You're calling me rude, but you don't actually want to look into the mirror.
No, I'm not.
You call me rude
at you. I'm just laughing at the irony of the situation.
Right, but do you ever look at yourself in the mirror? How you communicate with people during conflicts?
Absolutely.
How do you look at a mirror?
Because you think this is a conflict.
That was an assault. You've shown no interest in seeing the tape because you don't want to see it.
Between you and I.
It's just the verbiage. It's just some of the words.
I get you're still aggravated and you're still antsy.
You know what? And here's what the unfortunate thing is. My whole thing is I want to see some quinoa get grown. I'm like a person that wants to actually be involved in stuff. Well, now you guys pushed me out of here. I'm going back to Colorado, and it's because I was assaulted by one of your Food Not Bombs members. You can say it's just winter. The truth of the matter is, he's declared himself the manager of this property. That's what he said to me. He said he's the manager.
You're trying to pull me into personal stuff? You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to stop you from saying anything. I'm not going to associate him. That's amaranth. It's actually gorgeous. It's a gorgeous red amaranth. When you see it in spring, it is so bright red it looks oversaturated.
So if amaranth grows here, quinoa would do well too, because that's a similar stock.
And there's over 2,000 variety of quinoa.
Okay.
So, and there's one for every altitude, every climate, every soil type. That's what I was going to tell you about the guy that you want to talk to. And even if you just want to email him, look him up. Sierra Vista Farms. His name's Daniel.
Like Sierra? S-I-E-R-R.
Okay. Ciro. C-I-R-O. Sorry, my texting came out.
Ciro
Vista Farms. This guy is an incredible organic farmer. Just an artist when it comes to growing food. And one thing that he specialized in South America was growing a couple hundred variety of quinoa. But he knows over 2,000 variety of quinoa. So if you're excited about quinoa, talk to that man.
Yeah, I need to get some land where there's
And
does he use monsoon rains solely?
He's in between here and Colorado. So.
Does he? I'd be interested to know if he needs a lot of water to get the quinoa started, or if he just uses the monsoon crops that come in. Because I figure
last year he couldn't start quinoa because it was too much water. It was too much rainfall.
Too much rainfall. Okay. So, all right. So it's got to be the right balance.
Yeah. So he may not have had the seeds for that type. And that's this guy. The genius about this guy is just the simple things that he does, and his basic know-how and when to start, when not to start, what to do and what not to do, which makes him the best artist. It's like, you know, when a real artist, a seasoned artist, walks into a canvas, and he knows what colors to drop. You know, is that your?
Hey, Eric. Oh, maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. Let's see. Let me look at the. I don't use the cell phone that much. It looks like. All right, go ahead. Yeah, I thought maybe a call was coming in, and it was just looking at the call log.
So it's just like a seasoned artist knows what stroke to make and what stroke not to make whenever they're approaching a canvas. That's him on the land. This guy's he's just incredible.
Well, I mean.
So
yeah, I know this general part of America is one of the few places, maybe other states, but I mean, aren't very many quinoa farms in the U.S. outside of just that Ernie's farm in Moscow, Colorado.
South America, it's a big deal. I mean, that was the food of my people, you know, in South America, but not up here. No, and it's actually outlawed in South America for a while because it's such a good crop for the natives there.
Too expensive for the city people to afford anymore. Yeah.
But so. You know, I know we kind of got a little off topic, but I like talking about things that people are passionate about.
Right.
And
I have a lot of building and farming interests I haven't implemented yet, but it's a matter of the right place, the right time.
See, this is the stuff I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about conflict with somebody else because I'm not involved in that. But I really enjoy talking about things that people are passionate about. That's the way I want to know you.
Maybe an unpopular view, but I do view things that way that I do think are mature. That if there's, hey, I want you to watch the property for me. Now, within that comes certain things. As someone that's trying to be involved in communities over the years and seeing the dysfunctional versus the functional, conscious versus unconscious behavior. In this situation, I am interpreting a situation where someone put up a flag and established a little bit of energetic dominance. I came here to ground, meditate, and go to the gym daily and use the sauna. And maybe get involved in growing food. And that has all now been crushed. Because I'm not going to pay someone to do this. There was never an agreement that we would take it to that point. And he has been paid $20 cash to help me for 15 minutes change out the oil. So, and I have given a little bit of smoke to him when I did purchase some from his friend. So there was a buildup of accusations and name calling, like, you're a dick, that just built and built. So I don't have to be angry at you. I am frustrated with there's an organizational situation where someone was... Somehow in his mind, he believes he's the manager. Whether he is or he's not, whatever. And whatever your take is on that, whatever. That's what he was yelling at me. And then he screamed at back that didn't even argue with him or look him in the eye, just went there to get some water. You're not the manager, I am. So he's out of here. And it was just like that. And that's when I went in to grab the camera. And that's when he grabbed it, and I was scared he was going to break it back like I've seen at protests, where some cops will break the camera back. So we wrestle over it for a few minutes, and then I realized it's just going to keep going on. And he got the cops, so I just sit back, and he's holding on the camera for a minute, and I have to ask him to give me back my camera for that last. So that last minute of whatever wrestling that went on for 5 minutes wasn't like to the end. It was like, listen, man, okay, you should have seen it, and it's even in the softness of letting me, please give me back my camera. And it took about a minute. He gave me back my camera. Well, he called another one, and that was pointless, to call another company to try to cause me money when I have my own company. So A&B Towing.
A&B Towing is the only towing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If he called somebody, he called.
That doesn't look like a tow.
He just walked up the driveway.
Is that a tow truck?
I don't.
That doesn't look like a tow truck.
That's not the tow truck I'm used to seeing. So it doesn't mean that's not a supervisor's kind of fine.
Right. Well, yeah, that looks like somebody, right? Well, that would be 1, 2, 3.
So the thing is
They're not
1237 GPS thinks he was at property.
Okay. I guess he's not
GPS
really noticing that we're here, so I guess we'll walk down.
This may not be him, but yeah. So one, I like to deal with things with humor as best as possible and talk to people about whatever makes them passionate.
Yeah.
So, and I get that you're heated and frustrated, and that's why I don't want to talk about that situation because I don't want it to translate for me.
That is a towing. Yeah.
So,
I do. I'll get my card for you.
And what's the? Is it the motorhome?
Yep, right there.
Okay. And what's the phone number I was supposed to be calling?
469-989. It's my ID, by the way. 469-989-9195.
Okay, they give us 499.
Okay, that's why I didn't get a call. Okay, and my membership thing is in there. Let me grab it for you.
From Dallas?
Huh?
You're from Dallas?
I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I did a TV show in Portland for about 10 years called Outside the Box, and okay, yeah, cool. So I left Portland when it became too expensive, and I've been trying to find off-the-grid allies ever since that are non-violent, for example, where we can actually be friends and do some stuff. And again, that's why I came down here. That's why I've been traveling around. I'm disappointed I haven't found my own land yet, but you know, it's a time and a place for everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Aspen Springs, and yeah, that's what happened. And then from there, someone's going to come help me, so I'm literally going by the Safeway to a side street.
Alex.
But I appreciate you coming out.
If you need like if you're like I need a solid mechanic certified mechanic.
Sure.
That's the off-road one.
Thomas Off-Road. They're not cheap. So this is a.
So a friend, or someone I know on Facebook, I haven't met him yet, but I started a Southern Colorado Freedom Movement little Facebook page for the Flip Network. Posted yesterday, and he said there's a for $450 is an automatic at the salvage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, but Kyle was suggesting that might not be good because it could be broken, which is a possibility. So it's not good. Right. So that's my plan. Unfortunately, I've got enough money to get taken care of. But I was told Taos is the worst place to get stuck.
Yeah, because you never leave. It's called land of entrapment.
Yep.
Nothing.
Something's pulling me out of here then. That's out of my control. I'll just accept it. I'll just accept it.
Land of entrapment. Let's pop the hood.
Okay.
So how long has it been sitting?
How long has this been sitting? It has. Yeah, because what happened was the agreement was for Kyle and I to change the oil, and basically to work on the other, which is over here. Whatever's going on there. So, there was a minor complication. It was not physical, but it did involve me walking away from him doing the non-defensive open hand thing. There was a lot of this going on, and he was advancing. He was advancing physically into this physical space. This is not an exaggeration. So that had me. I was going through a lot of stress the other day. I don't normally. Listen. I love going to the gym, hit the heavy bag. I don't fight people. Okay, this is what I go at the heavy bag. I don't get in fights. So that's what I didn't like about that.
I like that I just kept it. I like that I just get to be the guy that smiles.
Right.
Because I don't have to deal with it. If I walk over here and shit with a smile, then I go, okay, and I leave. And then
Right.
the people that show up after me is the people that they're not the smiley people. They don't get confrontational. They don't get confrontational.
I'm gonna make sure if you want to walk with me, if you want, I'm gonna make sure I don't leave anything around you. Alex Answer here with an update. I have been on the phone with AAA for about an hour, and someone else that's associated with Food Not Bombs came over and talked to me for about an hour and tried to explain to him several times that this person assaulted me. And so this person has been given that information. For now, I'm waiting for AAA to get here. Apparently there was some miscommunication with AAA the first time, and I don't know whether they wrote down the wrong membership number or whatnot, but they never sent out a tow. They sent out somebody to a jump. So someone came out with the wrong size truck. So AAA is currently working on finding a truck that will be able to tow this one-ton RV. The other issue that may become problematic is the fact that the operator said some of the tow truck drivers can only go up to the state border. And I need to get to Alamosa, Colorado, which is about an hour and a half or so away. So this has really turned into a really crazy experience. Plus the number of people staying outside the RV as if I'm some bad person, taking note of everything going on and actually getting a chance to actually know me. So on top of that, there's a number of very strange things surrounding the story.
still want to be involved. You know? If I start getting involved or whatever, then I'm going to start getting aggravated, and I don't want to get aggravated. You know? And my aggravation involved in the
Right. You have a right to your
It's not
opinion.
service
You have a
It's
right
not
to your
service
opinion.
you, and it
But then,
doesn't
if
help
you
me
allow
protect
someone
you
to
while you're
abuse
here.
others, even if they invite them to the property, it's
Was I here?
enabling the behavior.
Was I here? Did I incite
You
you?
never once asked to see the tape. I'm not
I
going to
don't-
show. No, because you
Just
don't
like
want to
I
see
don't
it.
want you to tell me about
Right.
it. I don't want him to tell
You
me
never
about it.
asked to
This
see
is
the
your
assault.
personal altercation. This is your personal thing.
Right, it's my fault.
I'm not involved.
It might as well
No.
be my fault.
You take what.
No, I came here to meet Keith and pay him $100
No,
to stay here.
you didn't
I'm
pay-
leaving because the person he appointed manager assaulted me.
And
Let's
you're
not
doing
rewrite
a lot of
reality.
things, and you're throwing a lot of things at me, and this is why I don't want to talk about it because
I'm not
I don't.
throwing it at you. I'm saying
You
this
are.
is what happened, and you're saying I'm not going to
What
get
I'm
involved.
telling you, this,
The
right,
facts
I'm
are
not-
important as to who started it. It's very important.
Between your thing with him, not with me.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be a judiciary
Right.
representative.
Listen, in no
I'm
way
here to make sure
am I
that-
trying to stay, but it's disappointing because I wanted to maybe get to know Food Not Bombs. Even if Keith is gone, this is still my experience with
talk to-
Food.
right.
This is still my Food Not Bombs
please talk to
experience.
Keith about
And you,
that.
as a representative for Keith, this is my experience talking to a potential mediator who just says I don't want to get involved.
No, what I'm saying is, while you're here, while you're here, I want to make
And the tag team energy on top of it, like he was yelling, "Oh, I'm gonna get my friends here," and all of a sudden, all these people in cars start showing up. We're gonna make sure you're out of here within a day, like
what he did
yelling at me.
I stopped by here once a week, and I've been here for almost 2 weeks now.
Right.
Guarding to right here because I was like, all right, you know, I don't know this guy's security.
We haven't
I
even
want to
talked.
Stab somebody with this, and I want to hide behind you.
I don't know where you're going with this now.
I don't know.
We
you
haven't
said
even
you might have
talked.
Been here for a week.
The 7th of March. What are we arguing about? How long I've been here?
No,
I'm not. I'm
See,
just,
this is-
I, like you're talking.
hey,
to-
Adam, this is why I've been trying to not get anybody to talk about what has been happening, is because this is a situation where it doesn't matter what's said or what's happening. You weren't here, I wasn't here, and that's the way I want to leave it, is Kyle and him have something that need to work out or not work out.
Well, I mean, the AAA, you guys both know AAA's on the way. It's resolved. Once they're here and I'm gone, I'm gone. It's resolved.
Awesome.
I'm out of here.
While you're
They're
here,
on
I
their
want
way.
to make sure nobody bothers you. And that's
Sure.
the important thing.
Well, this is what I wanted to finish with last time, and I'll be brief on it. 3 days ago, I said, I want to talk to you in your RV. Kyle, I don't want to talk to you in my RV. We can talk out here. He did kind of force himself in the RV. We talked about a minute, and then again there was the physical distance. So, like, you don't notice when I talk, I do back up sometimes. I do that intentionally. I feel it's aggressive. Really start marching at someone in their physical space. We're gonna have a debate. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like that's appropriate. So I said, dude, please get out of my RV, because we're not gonna have a private conversation when there are no witnesses. So you can just say your side of the piece. Immediately I cut it. We're going outside. No, man, I don't want people to see this. Exactly. If you're going to yell at me and accuse me of all these things, do it in public. Don't ask to do it in the privacy of my RV. That's what I want you to hear. Now, you don't have to comment on that. You don't have to respond to that. There's a reason why I'm not going to let someone box me in my RV in a private space where there are no witnesses. And physically get close by the table. Like, keep a physical distance if you're going to shout, "You're a dick, man, you're a dick." Keep a distance of 3 feet. Then we came out here, and he was about this close. Backing up with hands open. So it's the physical, I'm going to march at you. I understand your point. Anyone could see it. Well, you brought him. You guys were friends. Makes sense for you to leave. But ultimately, I didn't know Hal very well. 3 years of Facebook, connected on Facebook. I'm doing one favor in 2013. House sitting, and then clean up the poop. Clean up the stuff that was left in the actual scene. And then be messaging him 2 months ago saying, or a month ago, yeah, I want to start checking out some spots in New Mexico. You got some cleaners. Oh, come over to this spot, just like that. So that's where it started. Didn't really know it was Food Not Bombs. But it was, like I said, with the people, Food Not Bombs was that important in 2011. You know, when they had the homeless. Not just homeless, but people.
There you go, yeah.
So I was talking with Bert. Me and Bert were going to the gym, doing some exercise and talking about going to Plaza. And I figured I'd meet some people from Taos. But, you know, that I'm not gonna hang around Taos if I'm getting towed out of here. I'm just gonna take it all the way back to Talamosa.
Fort Collins,
On a side note, I was hoping to buy some land. This transmission thing came out of the blue. I want to get some land, 500 down. I had this whole thing planned out that I was just going to visit for a few days, a few weeks, and then go. This was my whole plan. It was never stated. It was only after this transmission thing that Bert kept saying, dude, I've been here for a few years. Keith is my friend, which is also why I'm hurt. That Bert just, he had a position, I don't want to get involved. That's fine, but somebody should at least know what happened. You know, so in case there are police involved, there is a purpose in having witnesses, and you know, things being documented.
That's what you have your recorder for, and I'm all
Yeah, but I'm not always recording all the time. The recorder's off right now at the moment. I'm not, you know, I mean, I've got enough little interesting content of us debating or talking. But the point is that's why. It's not to rewrite reality and bring someone. And I also had some people rob me of my camera when they were trying to force a crappy marijuana drug deal down my throat in Portland last year. So, you know, there's a little bit of trauma memory with someone snatching your camera when you pull something out for defense. And it's not the cops. It's not the cops that I have a memory of attacking me. It's actual regular people, which is why I'm mad and you just blame the cops for the role of our society. We have a society where people think it's okay to take someone's physical or break someone's physical private property for filming them when they're being aggressive. There are cases where people are filming because someone's being aggressive, and it's in their right to film for their defense.
Exactly.
That's the point. Yeah, I'm glad my camera's not broken. I don't need that type of a headache. This is my only good camera that I own right now. Well, that is a really good camera, whatever you had there, the Canon or that's a trick.
It actually does. Saying that, you know,
I hurt your feelings now.
I'm not involved, man. You
No,
know?
I know you express yourself as a peacemaker, but you did came up initially and say you're like, when Keith's not here, you didn't say manager. But there's got to be someone that watches the guy's property out of respect for the guy.
Yeah,
I respect the guy who I haven't even met, and yet I'm being pushed out because a person that's abused the fact they're allowed to stay on Keith's property assaulted me.
Last year it was me.
When I came up,
I didn't even. No one even stayed here at all.
when I
You
came
assaulting people? You don't look like the person that would do that. No, I take that
last year he
seriously,
was
man.
the-
When someone attacks
See,
people.
that's the thing.
That's
That's what he
your-
keeps doing. Is
yeah.
like every time.
Really?
That's why I
No,
don't want to have
that's
a
all-
conversation with him.
I was the one who would stop in the most.
Uh-huh.
He was the one that was watching the properties. What he said.
Right.
That's
And
what
there
he
were
was
people a
saying.
few years ago that literally disrespect this property. I heard too from someone else, and were dumping their poop or whatever. Did that happen, or Bert just exaggerated rumor?
There's a lot of trials and error in separating.
I've never done that to anybody. That's what I'm saying, though.
Separating urine from feces in sanitation or human manure experiments or trials.
So, it's like I, just keep saying, and I keep saying it because, this is why, I don't want to talk is because, the conversation always gets dragged into you this and you that. And I can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not, I just, I showed up because I heard that something
I gotcha.
happened.
Well, there's.
And not even told what happened, just, hey dude, something happened at the property. And so I was like, okay, cool, I was like, just be cool until I get there. And so I got here, I walk up, I shook hands, I said hi, and you said AAA's on the way, and I was like, oh, cool, okay, well then.
Well, then, and
it
then I,
seems
advi-
like
and I informed
to
you.
me, I
And then I informed you what happened up until that point.
Right. I assume you guys are adults and you guys are handling it like you're supposed to, and so when I walked up here, already assuming that, and you're like, hey, no, we're AAA's on the way, and I was like, oh, cool,
Right.
okay, good, groovy.
Because
Well,
2 minutes before was his girlfriend. 2 minutes
I had to
before that
leave.
was Kyle. And then
I
the
had to
internet was
leave-
cut off right
I
then.
had to leave work so I could make sure that while I'm here, everybody is you're with your stuff and you're protected, and he's in his bus and he's not involved in anything else. So if anything happens while I'm here, yes, I need to be involved in that. But before that, I don't want to be dragged into it because you guys are adults
point
and you
of
guys are
telling
going
you
to
that-
take care of that on your own. And when you leave here, you're you guys are gonna.
Right, I hear what
you
you're
know,
saying.
And when he leaves here, he's gonna have his thing. And
10 minutes ago when I was telling you that story about going to the RV, I sometimes forget the follow-up detail that's shortcoming. The purpose of sharing that story was that he was doing those things in private with no one around. Okay, as soon as someone's around and the light is shined on it, now he's inside. He's not doing the same thing. He's not acting the same way with you guys here.
Well, again,
But I'm the one who's leaving, and he's the one who's allowed to stay. And that's where the story goes,
Look.
as far as I'm seeing it.
okay. So I'm not here to place blame on anybody
Right.
for anything because this is a personal thing between you and him.
I'm still confused how you said you or Heath when he's not here,
I'm
but
Heath.
I reported
Well, what
to you
if
that
you-
that he
if-
slapped, and there's footage of it, which
Right.
you haven't asked to see, of
I
the
know.
camera, and then me begging him to not break it.
Okay.
And I'm the one who's asked to leave because he was here longer, and then Adam seemed to have reinforced the longer part.
Have I asked you to leave?
It's obvious, dude, that I gotta leave.
It's obvious.
It's obvious.
It's obvious because I said the words.
No, I'm not saying you particular, like that
Okay.
Kyle. No one has said no. That's not true. That Kyle is not the. It was Beck. Beck who told me a few days ago. Don't get freaked out and emotionally worked up. I locked myself in my RV for a day after you confronted me the first time, got in my face. Not out of fear. I also want to separate fear versus not trying to see a conflict get worse. I'm not physically afraid of Kyle. I don't want to get, like I explained a minute ago, in these fist fight, fisticuff, ridiculous shit.
Right.
Just because I enjoy martial arts and boxing, it's probably because I do, and I really do, that I don't believe that it's wise to voluntarily get in. So if someone's snatching my camera, I'm going to try to get the camera out of my hands. So if that requires, a little bit of wrestling with the arm, look, I didn't even get the camera back because I was afraid he was I had to ask for it back.
I'm again.
I mean, that's how what I'm taking away from the
I
story.
totally get you're aggravated.
And I get that you're here to intervene and make sure nothing gets worse. I got that. I got that.
I'm just here to just to make sure that. From
And nothing
this
is
point
gonna
on,
get
you're
worse.
safe.
Everything's
and
safe.
and
Everything's good.
nobody's like if they were going to be yelling back and forth, I'd be like, oh, hold on, guys. Then I would intervene.
Hope the weather-
All I am here right now is to make sure you're cool, you're safe, and everybody's.
Hope the weather's good in Alamosa.
Everybody's being kosher. Weather's like this in Alamosa. It is.
Although it is a little about the same, huh? Even the nights and days, pretty
Oh,
close.
fucking nights. It's cold. Yeah.
Colder here,
'Cause
maybe,
it's
right?
still a desert.
It's very cold here.
It's still a desert over there. I mean, this is high desert.
Right.
You're actually, you're in El Prado right now, which is the swampland, the marshland. So in a couple of weeks, there'll actually be several inches of water sitting on the ground here.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard it's gonna all be flooded, and that's from that's from the ditch. The ditch it's gonna be.
Part of it's the acequia. Part of it's because all the snow melt and everything coming down, and all the spring rains, all the stuff comes.
A few words on Burke. Out of all the men I've met in my travels, although I'm disappointed he just chose to walk away. We would talk for hours. I have hours of podcasts with me and him talking. Thoughts on the state of society in the world is a video from the last week on the channel. We talked for an hour and a half with just an image of Taos in the background. And so
I like to ask.
I feel you may
calm
not
guy.
be someone that researches spiritual warfare or not, but on a deeper level, that's how I interpret this. There's something else going on that's actually above maybe just what you're seeing, and that's more of what interests me. Now, a lot of people are closed-minded to those ideas of, say, interference in intentional communities and certain people somehow abusing their power or choosing to voluntarily get into a position of power to abuse others. Again, I not see Kyle that way in the past, but I definitely see me coming down here being about, I don't know, the animosity, me not going in the RV, that bus, not sharing on the spliffs, really for days want to be in my own space. And that's how I am. I'm a person that likes to, I run someone else's website, and that takes 3 hours of work a day, and I come out and socialize, but I don't want to be a part of what I call now to myself the Kyle show. Where everybody's coming and going, hanging out with Kyle, here's me, oh, look what I invented. I want to really be in my own space. So there was a lot of, and I could feel it whether you believe in psychic potential or not, this experience is actually reaffirmed the very thing you think might be going on in someone else's head could be going on in someone else. So I felt a sense of resentment and anger that was boiling slowly after I got here, that I was not spending a lot of my time in the bus, that I was spending my time by myself. And that was one of the core reasons why I think the resentment kept building and building and building. And then these accusations came. What I didn't understand was the sense it makes to get almost physical with someone that could take you down. And I'm not that type of person who says, I could take you down, but I don't see Kyle as someone that's like a boxer, or he's not in a place to be jumping up and down, getting physical and snatching cameras. If he tried to do that to a regular, which I don't think he would. You know, he said one day someone tried to take his bus in Salt Lake City. He has a lot of stories he shared the first night I got here, which sound like a lot of divine intervention. It sound like, oh man, you're touched by God, is the feeling. I actually blogged on Facebook saying I just met a couple touched by the Creator. If you go back and look at my Facebook posts, that's not, there's nothing even bashing. And I can actually feel him stalking my page. What is he saying once things got weird? And then acting like, oh, I want to help here, let me do, and then just the constant, I don't want to say the word bipolar, because that's not exactly what it is, but kind of psycho, back and forth. Now we're talking, now you're my enemy, now I'm kicking you out. Now going back to Bert, which is where I was starting, I had a lot of deep conversations with him. Besk, I'm bad with names, Besk. I think, I've never heard of a Besk. He kept saying, dude, just stay. You and Keith will get along. Dude, just stay. Dude, just stay. So I've been taking his advice. And I was under the impression that he's been here a while. That I mean, I was under the impression he was a decent person and not in charge, but someone that knew Keith, someone that's been around not just a few months. He just pulled in.
So I know Keith, and I don't know him as well as a lot of people, but I know Keith, and Keith would just laugh and go,
I don't think a person would act a certain way with the owner was here.
Listen. All right. I get.
I've seen this before.
I get situation would be different if Keith was here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I don't think there'd be a camera slapped out of my hands. Maybe me and Keith would be talking about stuff.
Right, and so Keith would be like, okay, well, okay, you guys deal with it. All right, bye. And
right,
because Keith is one of those he's had enough stuff happen to him that he learned very quickly that.
I don't believe
you stay focused on the things that you're passionate about and do the things that you believe is right, and don't get involved in other people's drama, because that gets you into a lot of trouble. And people will put things onto you that aren't associated with you, and Keith has got that a lot throughout his life. You know?
Oh, Keith?
Yeah, so he's had that happen to him a lot in his life. And so if you think my situation of trying to stay
That is not the tow truck. For here? They're coming here? Oh, they're going somewhere else?
Every day, twice a day.
And me and that guy talked about this for hours, though, about how as recently as a week ago, should I leave or stay? So that's what he told me. Just stay calm, don't let him push your buttons. And so that was the plan. And I figured maybe I'd stay a few months.
My position here is, mainly just one, I'm not trying to emulate Keith, but
you know what's weird though?
I want to be a closer representative of Keith.
I looked Keith up on Facebook and found out we're already friends. So I'm like, wow, maybe he added me and he's already, or not, or maybe I added him because I added some Taos people like 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. So I was going to message him. Like I said, when the internet went down, I wasn't able to do that. But now I'm glad I didn't cut off my internet now Alamosa, because now I can go back and immediately get online.
I don't want to be involved because this is a personal thing. And I know I keep reiterating this. I get that you are that you're distressed because of what happened between you and Kyle. Okay, but I'm here because I am stewarding the property, and so part of that is staying as impartial as possible. And the only way I can do that is by not getting pulled into anybody's side. Because after I feel like everybody's cool. I mean, Keith is going to have to work out with Kyle what's happening with Kyle. And you obviously have already made your decisions to what you're going to do. So while you're here, I want to make sure
my decision
that nobody's going to.
I don't have a choice. Please don't say that I have a choice in this. I have been told to leave. I have been told I have 1 day. I have been told he is the manager. And then fourth, I have been told that a group of people is coming, and a group of people are now here to make sure that I am gone before the day is out. Well, 4 points I just said. That no one has said neither of those points are wrong.
Give me a moment. Okay. Those points are wrong.
But I am leaving, but yeah.
Those points are wrong. So let me tell you why. They don't know you, and they don't know Kyle.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay. I got called. I got sent a message while I was at work, just saying, "Hey, I need some help at camp." There was an altercation. No detail.
Right.
So I was like, "Well, be cool until I get there. Like, let's not. Nobody needs to go any further with
The
anything."
last thing.
So now, as far as him see, you tell me, oh, he told me his crew's going to be here, and then his crew's here. Well, I don't know who his crew is.
In a threatening way.
Okay,
Yeah.
What and
My
whatever,
gang.
whatever.
Might as
but
well
I'm
be
not
like my
involved.
gang.
I'm not
Right.
involved in that, and I
Right.
don't want to be placed into that category. I'm here as the steward to go. Nobody's doing anything. Everybody's just gonna figure their shit out, and they're gonna solve their problems, and then I'm gonna go back to work.
By the way, I'm okay with this because I know in my heart I didn't do anything to him.
That's
and
awesome.
when I was willing to pay him the money, and I did say, it's how you're talking to me. Dude, why would I hire you when you're screaming at me? Would you hire someone screaming at you about your vehicle? You're an idiot, dude. You don't know anything about your model car. You could take the tone, like that type of tone, pointing the finger and getting close. You would be like, dude, I'm not paying you for nothing.
I get
And so
you're
there's some-
aggravated, and I'm just
Yeah.
an ear in front of you, and you want to get that stuff out.
And I explained to you an
That's
overall
awesome.
picture, and I don't think I did the worst job of painting you a picture of what happened. Now, you can look at that like, okay, this might be an issue that might be reoccurring. When I talked to Berg, sorry, what's his name again? Bess.
Yeah.
He said, when he's here, man, there are all these random people that are
Well,
here for
thank you.
non-food
You just
bombs
reminded me of something.
stuff. I'm saying you guys, I didn't know. In case you involved with people, there's a lot of people that do come and go. There's a lot of people that are on this property every hour. And I'm not, I've never complained about that. I've never complained about vehicles pulling up right here. And
'Cause you're not supposed to be parked there.
okay. Well,
But I'm not.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be here and make sure you're cool until you can get your stuff taken care of. That's because otherwise, if I get personal with it, well, now it's all fucking wrong, and that doesn't serve you, and that doesn't serve the situation at all, right? So
you said all those things were wrong. That the statements that Kyle made. The
No,
part
no,
about
I
you
didn't-
playing manager. So it's basically if
I mean-
Kyle's here longer and just says that person, get him out of here.
No.
I mean,
who? But you're putting that on me, and I have not said that.
you're saying you're maintaining a neutral position. You could say
Right.
that one.
Right.
But you haven't said,
'cause
no. Kyle doesn't have the right to just say that.
I've not said that.
It was more,
No,
okay.
I've not said that.
Hey, I'm being
I'll-
polite when I'm saying some of the stuff to you. I'm not doing the
I get
whole
it.
pointing
No, I
fingers,
know.
and I'm not in your face, and I'm not screaming
No.
you.
I get
All
it.
these things and more, Kyle already did to me. I'm explaining to you calmly,
awesome.
repeatedly. I'm not trying to get you to say, okay, I agree with you, Alex. I really want to make sure you understand the situation. I did not come here as an aggressive person to push away someone that was already here, push someone that was the guy in the bus.
Right.
But you have someone here acting as the guy watching over the property who will do that to people.
Okay, well, but that has, although you have had your situation with him, and you guys will have to resolve that part, he is going to have to resolve his part with Keith.
Well, that's
Okay.
the sad part. The sad part, I know you're
Just
trying
like you're going to have to resolve your part with Keith, however you see fit, with that being a video or you talking to him, having a conversation. I'm sure if you call him and talk to him, you guys are going to have a great time on the phone. I love that dude. He's such an interesting guy to talk to or just fucking listen to. All the nights that we spent around the campfire just cooking corn and talking and listening.
Right.
Dude, he's such an awesome dude. Anyways, I'm sidetracking.
Yeah,
But
well,
the point is-
I'll write to him tonight when I'm able to get online. But yeah, I'm not a big phone person.
But the point is, the point is, you're here right now.
Right.
And while you're here, the best way I can make sure that nobody jacks with you, that I'm not
Okay, maybe
a
if
mediator.
right.
I'm just here to make sure that nobody's going to do anything,
And I'm just speaking
nobody's
freely.
gonna carry-
So if you guys were here, I don't know what would possess someone to constantly try to egg on a physical confrontation. So you can bait someone out to throw a punch, you can call the cops. I'm just trying to understand the psychology. You can be in a neutral. I'm using my free speech. So
Oh, great.
what
I mean,
obsesses
fuck.
people to say, no, we're going to get physical. We're going to your RV. I am Keith's manager. And for that to be allowed to continue. That would affect Keith's reputation as Food Not Bombs. I'm not attacking Keith at all.
Right.
I'm going
But
to
just because
contact him
somebody
and
says
say,
something
like,
doesn't
when
make
I
it
think
true.
Food Not Bombs, the last thing that I would think about is someone knocking the camera out of my hands. From what I haven't got to know Food Not Bombs people great in Portland, but they seem fairly okay. This is it. I'm sorry that you don't agree and you don't have to, when you have someone watch a property and you're not currently on the property, but you have someone that is on the property, that has people coming and going for their own purposes, it always will reflect on the organization. You could say that it's wintertime, but how am I supposed to know that? I'm the person that's willing to come and
You didn't even
learn.
know this was food, not bombs until a couple of days ago.
See, let's be nice. I never said a couple of days ago. I said I didn't know about Keith's background with the police surveillance. See, that is a interpretation of what someone says, and this happens in other ways.
I'll go back.
It's food not bombs is painted on that bus over there. I've been
If
here
you
since
have the
the 7th.
patience, if you have the time, I can almost recite verbatim from the moment that I walked up to you to the conversations that we've had now.
Yeah, I do have the time, and I'll pause and just let you go ahead with that.
But
Because there will be a comparison with what you're paraphrasing that I said versus what was said.
Now, what I want to do, what I want to do is not paraphrase and not put anything onto you that doesn't involve
I knew
you,
this was
that you
food not
haven't
bombs after
said.
I got here on the 7th day of March.
Okay.
Then I knew it was food not bombs.
What I heard you say is I didn't even know about
Keith until 3
No,
days
I didn't
ago.
know that Keith was as famous as he was with government surveillance. So I typed in Keith, government surveillance, and boom, hundreds of articles come up on the internet. The guy's coming in, young man. Okay. And here we are. Oh no!